Today I wear a sweater because girls look better in a real tight sweater. I just came home from school, taking off my shoes, gonna go wash my hands. But I just wanted to film this as fast as possible. Just because I was thinking in the bus and as I was leaving from school, how there are people who are way dumber than you. They're way dumber than you, and yet they're getting the things that you want, The people who are less qualified than you, way less qualified, that have the position that you want to have. They're making the money that you want to make. That have that job that you want to have. That have that person that you want, There are people who are absolutely unqualified that have everything that you want. And there are people who are dumber than you, that get better grades than you, and that have maybe even score higher on IQ tests or whatever. An IQ test doesn't even matter, but it's like, for example, there are some people in my school who, I'm just gonna say my opinion, right? Who are smart academically, let's say. They get good grades, but if you speak to them, they're the most idiotic people you've ever seen on earth. They have the most flawed ideas in the world. They could be really fascists and extremists and idiots. They would really just spread hate and be so socially dumb. It's these people legit just study a couple of days before the test. They memorize everything and then they forget everything the day after the test. And they're credited as the good students, the smart ones. But in fact, if you really get to know them, they're the dumbest people you ever meet. Honestly, not the dumbest. There are also people who are even worse than that. And those ones are even more confusing to me, because it's just I don't know, it's just I feel everyone has their brain, right? And we all think differently, and that's okay. And I'll respect everyone's creativity, and I am aware that I think faster, but I don't speak much. That's really why I started this whole YouTube channel, just so I can speak. But obviously we've talked about this before. We're oh, I feel like no one wants to hear me, therefore I will stop talking. And then you grow up and you realize that who cares? You can speak for yourself, by yourself. Anyways, where I'm going with this is that, today I felt dumb. I sometimes it don't do well on a test because it has been ingrained in my brain from a young age that X, Y, and Z. If you fail or you don't do good on a test, you're dumb. I don't say I believed that for a really long time because honestly, I would always get perfect A's. Not perfect A's, I would always be a really good student, right? So when I find myself struggling, my own ego, right, would be tackled. It's what do you mean? I'm always good at this. I always get good grades. I'm always but you have to kill the ego. All of your versions of the ego, whatever it means for you, I just think that I'm very intelligent. I am. Period. I'm sorry, but I'm so tired of always questioning my intelligence and doubting it. I've been doing that since, I don't know, my first year of high school and my second year, and I would have to write quotes and remind myself that, hey Maria, you're doing okay, you're trying your best, you're doing well, whatever. It's there are people who are going to be better than you, but there are also going to be people who are worse than you. And there are a million other factors that makes those two things possible. Okay? So, it's okay. And honestly, you just have to be clear about what you want in your life, And I feel obviously when you're really young, that's a very hard question to answer. Honestly, let's be honest, most people who are full-grown adults cannot even actually truthfully answer that question. You do have to be calculated with your life and with the decisions that you're making, right? I should cook something. Right, but even for example, choosing a career path. I am just so sure that so many people choose a career path that they never even wanted, just because they were promised security or prestige or money or possible success or XYZ, you know? Like even a doctor or a lawyer or a business, like studying business or like an engineer. You know, I'm sure that not everyone who studied those, I don't know, studied those things in university or whatever was actually truly passionate about it. I mean, most people I feel like would have seen them as the highest way to rank up in like society, right? You know, fastest way to get a lot of money, get a lot of prestige, get a lot of success, and big house, you know. But in reality, that's not even truly the case. You know, I feel like those ideas are literally so outdated in reality. They really are. Cause like the world is not the same. The world changes month by month, year by year, decade by decade, and it has never in history have changed so much. It has never in history has never changed so much and so fast ever before. Okay, never in history. Ever since World Wide Web became a thing and internet became accessible to almost half of the human population, the world was never the same, you know? And that's a good thing. That's a good thing. It's not a bad thing at all. Obviously, there are some negatives and some positives about this topic, but I'm gonna dive in more into the positives here. The world is not the same. Being a doctor, being an engineer, being a whatever doesn't automatically mean you're successful or that you're gonna have a stable career path or like you're gonna be financially stable or successful or you're gonna have a big house or whatever. And that sucks. That sucks. I feel like, in my opinion, I feel like it does suck, you know? Especially for doctors who spend like 12 years in school and save lives, making less money than like a CEO. I think, you know, I think it's kind of bad, you know? But it depends on where you are. It depends on where in the world you are, right? If you're in a first world country, in a second or third world country, etc. Which city you are, if you're a really good doctor, if you're a bad doctor, what kind of like medical system that country has, whatever, right? And etc., right? But you know, my point is not to like say that you can be a doctor and you can be broke, or you can be an engineer and still make no money. You can still be a lawyer and be broke. Like honestly, like true. That's true. Those are all possibilities that could happen, and happens to some people for sure. Because everything and anything is possible, and everything and anything happens, and it's happening as we're speaking right now. You know, someone is literally giving birth as I'm speaking. Someone is dying as I'm speaking right now. It happens. It's happening. It will happen. It's life. There will always be possibilities for everything and anything. There's a possibility to fail. There's a possibility to succeed. No matter the odds, all of the odds get completed. If it's a 9 out of 10, that 1 out of 10 will happen. Okay. If it's not you, then it's gonna be someone else, and that's fine. It's still gonna happen. Okay. Okay. My dad is calling me, so give me 5.